you? All right, we have a crowd in the house. All right. Listen, I know you're all here to hear Nicola, all right? You don't really want to hear what I've got to say. Don't worry about it. I used to be Transport Minister. I know what it's like to be unpopular, okay? So I won't take up too much of your time, but just a few remarks from me. Honestly, standing here as a Glasgow boy in George Square, where we have tens of thousands of people, what a beautiful sight you all are. You're gorgeous. And do you want to know what I see when I stand here? I see people of all colours. I see the black standing next to the white, standing next to the brown. I see men and women. I see people of many nationalities. I see the gay and the straight. I see the religious and the agnostic. And that is what our movement is about. It's an inclusive movement. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, this is your country. Whether you're from Poland or Pakistan, whether you're from Germany or Ghana, whether you're 10 generations Scottish or you're a Syrian refugee, this is your independence that we are fighting for. An independent Scotland will be a rainbow nation. And my God, we're in Glasgow. Glasgow is a city where migrants have contributed so much. They've contributed to our business, to our academia, to our NHS, and even to our food. Thank God, this is the home of the chicken tikka masala. Ah, damn right it is. And look, to the serious point. That was all serious, but to the even more serious point. We're standing here in George Square. And this square is so symbolic, we're having this rally here. Because you stand on the shoulders of some giants. Because this square, and many times in Glasgow's history, has shown the very best of Scotland when we have seen the very worst of the United Kingdom. In 1993, the great and late Nelson Mandela was here in George Square, thanking the tens and thousands of Glaswegians that gave him the freedom of the city in 1981. When the UK Thatcher government called him a terrorist, we gave him the freedom of this great city. A few years ago, when David Cameron, remember that guy? When David Cameron shunned and turned his back on Syrian refugees, thousands of us gathered in this square, and we said loudly and we said clearly, you are welcome here. And we were the first city to welcome refugees in the entire United Kingdom. And just a matter of weeks ago, in this square, thousands of young people took off from school and they stood up for their rights and said to us, the old gens, leave us a better planet, leave us a sustainable planet, leave us a brighter future. And the pro-independence parties, we said, go on yourself, while the UK government tried to give them detention. You can't give detention, you can't detain our young people, their hopes and their dreams. So ladies and gentlemen, you stand in George Square, writing and about to write the most important chapter in our nation's history, and you do it on the shoulders of some giants. And you stand here today, and I'll finish on this because the main act is next. I finish with this. You stand here in defiance. You stand in defiance of a United Kingdom arrogant Tory government that tells you Scotland cannot have its voice. Will you listen to the tens and thousands of here? We will not just have our voice, we will choose our own path, and that path will be to reclaim our own independence once again. And we stand here to tell that UK government, we reject what the UK government has become. We reject your rape clause. We reject your bedroom tax. We reject, and to hell with your nuclear Trident missiles. And I end on this. I ask you one favour, and indulge me for just a second, because we've got one hell of a campaign to fight for. And you're going to have to, and I'm going to have to, pound every pavement. We're going to have to chap every door. We're going to have to look in the whites of the eyes of every friend and colleague and neighbour that you come across to get them to vote for independence. But I want you to indulge me, because it can seem hard and it can seem long and campaigns can seem arduous. But I want you to indulge me. All the tens of thousands of you, do me a favour. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Just do it. All of you, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine polling day on IndyRef2020. You woke up that morning, and that whole day you spent at a polling station. You spent chapping the doors. You spent talking to people. And it's night time, the polls are closed, it's the early hours of the morning. And you're in front of your television, it's at home, you're by yourself, or maybe you're with your friends and your family, or maybe you're one of the lucky ones that got to the count, and you're watching the television screen, and the result is announced that Scotland has voted to become an independent country. And that feeling that you have, where the hairs are standing on the back of your neck and are standing up in your arms, from this day to that day, I want you to remember that feeling. I want you to work your socks off, not for me, not for yourself, but the future generations to come, because an independent Scotland is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it happen. Give it loudly!